What's going on, you guys? Kenny here, also known as SolidFan85. Welcome to another Why in YouTube. We are talking with Bulldog today, Bulldog Gaming. He is a bit of a combination of streaming and videos as well. A big ATS guy, truck sim, as well as some Grand Theft Auto and a combination of other games. So we're going to dive in with him. He's a good friend of mine, as well as his wife. You guys forgive me, guys. I just woke up.
And so did I.
Yeah. Him and his wife have been good friends of mine for a while. You guys may know her, Witch. They've been really good friends. We've chatted over the years, done some collabs, and it's been really cool. So he's volunteered to be another guinea pig in this experiment here on the channel.
Yeah.
So getting started, you guys have 2 kids.
We have 3 kids at home,
Right.
And then we have one that lives in Abilene, Texas, and one that is married to a Marine over in Okinawa, Japan, with 3 grandkids over there.
That's right.
Plus, we have a grandson in Abilene from our son that lives in Abilene.
Man, I feel like a dunce sometime when I forget these details about you guys.
It's all good.
I forgot some details about Athena too, and I was like, I really need to catch up. So
Right.
that's awesome though, especially like having a daughter in Okinawa, Japan. He's stationed over there though, right?
Right. This is he just re-upped, so they'll be coming back stateside probably mid-summer. We don't know where his new duty station is going to be, but we're fingers crossed, Texas.
Gotcha. Well, as of this recording, we just finished the holidays. Did you get to see them at all?
Uh-huh.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I know that.
Yeah, well, we did video chatting via Facebook because, the difference in time, and
Yeah.
we were awake at their daytime.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, what, 10, 12-hour difference easily.
Yep.
Crazy. Okay. So, getting a little personal to you, yourself, when you were growing up, what did you want to be?
What did I want to be? Originally, I wanted to be a cop.
Ooh. Okay. Well, that explains, because for those that don't know, you are a bit of a modder.
Right.
You do a lot of vehicle modding, and there's a lot of work with cop cars, fire trucks, stuff like that.
Correct.
Where? So when that started with your modding, what really got you into that? Was it just like that boyhood craving of needing to play with vehicles and
play with trucks and cars,
yeah,
and play cops and robbers and do it as an adult?
right, exactly. And it's funny, a lot of people don't think about that, like, mental link between when you're a kid and you're rolling like Hot Wheels across the floor doing like a cop chase with a police car. But as you get older, video games allow you to reenact it in a more virtual way.
Yup.
It's kind of awesome. Okay, so on another note, if somebody was to make a movie out of your life, who would play you, or who do you think you would want to play you?
Who would play me? Let's see. I would say probably Nicolas Cage.
Ooh, interesting. Is that just because your personality's so off the wall sometimes, or?
Yeah, pretty much. He has some of the same sense of humor as I do. Actually, in real life, I've met the man in real life. Yeah, well, being a truck driver, you get to meet a lot of famous people, and you just don't talk about it.
Wow. Is it like mainly like on the road, like you just happen to come across them?
I was delivering in the LA basin. In fact, I was actually delivering to Paramount Studios, and that's how I got to meet him. And I also got to meet Chris Christopherson same day.
Oh, dude. That's like, yeah, Chris Christopherson is definitely a favorite of mine.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Of course, Nick Cage is too. No harm done to Mr. Cage. I mean, freaking Ghost Rider. Nobody could have played Ghost Rider in my opinion.
Nope.
Well, that's cool, man. That's a little juicy tidbit I didn't expect from you.
Yeah.
Okay, so when, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, you do a bit of streaming, a bit of video creating. You also do a bit of vlogging as well, on the road, rambling from the truck.
Yep. Ramblings from the truck.
what was your first stream and what was your first video?
My first stream was actually a 5M stream.
Okay.
I did a co-stream with uh, uh, Tyler and
Right.
Dark Wolf and Sheriff, and we were just messing around on the 5M server when I was part of the Outcast Posse,
Right.
and we were doing Outcast Posse Sheriffs and all that on 5M. And my first video goes back to my very first vlog on YouTube. And that, I was talking about drinking and driving in a commercial vehicle. And I was actually driving for Fry Miller out of Oklahoma City when I did that because gentleman I had met at the truck stop was sitting there just getting soused. And he goes, "Well, I still got to drive 5 hours." And I was like, "No, you ain't.
Oh
You're
wow.
south." And I just opened up YouTube that day and just started vlogging about it. And that's how I got into doing YouTube, doing my vlogs. And then live streaming. My very first live stream was actually over on Twitch
Hmm.
shortly after one of your live streams.
Oh. Okay. That's cool. What I mean, was it the 5M stream you were talking about, or like are you talking about
Mhm.
your stag like stream, like where you do it independent?
Actually, my very first stream was the 5M stream, and then after
Okay.
that, I just kind of broke off and started doing my own thing. We were just kind of jacking around, and I hit live, and that was back when I first started learning OBS, uh, and I wanted to play around with it, so that's what I did. I streamed what we were doing, and I guess we got a big hit out of it and a big laughs. Uh, and then now I'm into Streamlabs like you are, and in fact, you've been my mentor. Even though you probably really don't know this, you've been my mentor when it comes to learning Streamlabs OBS, and anything that has to do with streaming.
Well, dang, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, with that said, I've appreciated you guys a lot throughout the years. It's yeah, because you know, and for those that don't know who he's talking about, like Tyler, Dark Wolf, Sheriff, they're all a part of the Outcast Posse, which for, and I could be wrong on this, you know, if you guys want to flame me in the comments, so be it. But Phoenix Feather, who I mentioned here on the channel, and I've mentioned in previous videos, that whole thing kind of formed around his channel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, you ran with him for a while.
Yep.
Um, did you? Is that like your favorite stream that you've ever done, or is there one that pops out in your brain that you really enjoyed that always kind of comes back to you?
My favorite stream um, was later down the road. I was doing an American Truck Simulator stream, and I think you were streaming at the time, and I didn't realize you were streaming at the time. But it ended up coinciding having a conversation with you during your stream while I'm streaming
Oh,
through uh, through chats, and you came over and raided me later on you and
that's right.
Chewy, and that's how I met Frost
That's
was
right.
through that stream.
Okay, cool. See, and this is one thing I love about streaming because you can really network with people
Mm-hmm.
in a fun way and friendly way. And again, it can build just lasting associations. It
Oh
really
yeah,
can.
lasting memories.
Yeah, and drama. It's not to say that it's not all drama free. There is drama that pops up, but
Oh yeah.
it's really up to the personalities to be adults enough, to forgive, forget, do whatever, accept
Mm-hmm.
how people are, and go from there. So,
Yep.
um, and that's it's always a part of it. Is there? And don't use me here. I I want to I want to know more. Is there a specific YouTuber, streamer, etc. That you've looked up to throughout your time doing all this?
I've looked up to actually a couple. There's one that I follow quite closely. His name's Full Tilt Gaming, and that's because of American Truck Simulator.
Okay.
I look up to him. I watch everything he puts out when he puts out his streams. He does videos that explain a lot about what's coming up in the game, new releases, talking about mods. You know, he talks about life in general, and he makes everything fun. He he interacts so well with his followers. Me being a truck driver, you know, he kind of bounces some ideas off me on a couple of his streams. You know, hey, what would you see different in American Truck Simulator? And I tell him, you know, size matters. And we started bouncing back and forth. So I've been following him for quite a while, and then I also follow another streamer and record YouTuber that is from Texas. His name's Risky Clay, and
Oh,
we've collaborated quite a bit since I started doing the modifications and paint schemes. A lot of collaborations with him. He puts whatever I give him, he'll put it on his channel when he does his stuff, and then he gives credit where credit is due.
that's awesome. So you've done some consulting work, for
Mm-hmm.
to put it simply,
Yep.
and you've also met other people that do the same thing. And again, back to the networking thing, man.
Yep.
So that's really cool. Also, I'm going to apologize to Bulldog because you guys aren't hearing it, but I'm coming off the tail end of a cold, so I'm sucking snot. I know that's kind of but I'm going to apologize to him because I know he can hear it. So
Right. And it's okay. You know, we have our moments, especially when we're sick. And
yeah, and the freaking colds, man, they suck.
yes, they
Damn
do.
you, rhinovirus.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so going back to family,
Okay.
what is your perfect afternoon?
Perfect afternoon. Um, Hanging out with Witch and my kids. We make impromptu plans and go like Pokemoning.
Oh yeah,
Which I just started Pokemoning this year.
right.
Um, and we go out. We'll spend a couple hours doing Pokemon, or we'll sit back, kick back, watch a movie here at the house, or we'll just do crazy stuff. Just off the wall stuff. We don't ever make really big plans. We just kind of ad lib and make the best of it and just hang out.
Well, that's what it's about.
Yep.
That's
We've never, okay, we're gonna do that, make a schedule for this kind of stuff. We just, okay, let's go do, and that's what we do.
see that's that. Yeah, I mean that's family. you know,
Yep.
that's family. That's friends. So that's really cool. Okay, to the point of streaming, what is the because as much as I hate to admit it, um, with everything I do, it's hard to keep up with everybody when they're
Right.
streaming, when they're creating. But what is the longest stream you've ever done?
My longest stream, as was a 2.5 hour stream.
Okay.
Bounced between two games. I bounced between GTA 5 and American Truck Simulator, and no, actually 3 games, and one of the farm sim games. And yeah, it was 2.5 hours between all 3 games. In fact, that's when I had my actual highest viewer count at one point in time during streaming.
Wow.
I actually reached out to 100 people that day.
Holy cow. Was this Twitch or YouTube?
Twitch.
Twitch. That's
Yep.
fantastic, dude. You've
Yep.
actually, if I'm being honest, you got me beat on that. Because my highest view count on Twitch has been like 52.
Yep.
And that's when I was streaming the Yu-Gi-Oh mobile game.
Yep.
So that's awesome. Congrats.
Yep.
So did you take breaks during the stream?
I took breaks. I'd followed kind of a layout
Mm-hmm.
and put up "I'll be right back" with a picture, my logo and stuff like that, and Doritos chips and a soda. I can't remember what soda I use in it. That's on my thing,
Mm-hmm.
but had that up there. Went and got drink, used the restroom, smoked a cigarette, which I know a lot of people in the past. We've talked about that. Get to that later, but go smoke a cigarette because we don't smoke in our house.
Right.
We have never smoked in our house except for one house. we go outside, we smoke. That way, it doesn't smell like smoke in the house.
Right.
And so 5-10 minute break, come back in, get right back into the fun. You know, people are talking back and forth in the chat. I interact with the chat, and now that I know more about how to interact with the chat, it's even funner.
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely something you learn, and any good streamer will advise you to keep up on. You know.
Yep.
So how has streaming changed your life, or how has recording videos changed your life, if at all?
It's actually made me think about how I want to say things or put things out to have a conversation sometimes. I used to have a really bad stuttering problem,
Mm-hmm.
and through streaming and doing my recordings, I'm not stuttering so bad. I still stumble over my tongue. Everybody does
Yeah.
when they're talking, especially when you're talking to a live audience. But when you're just talking to the camera or you're just talking to the screen and nobody's looking at you, that you can tell at that moment in time,
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of flows so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Uh,
it's helped me be more conversationally to
Gotcha.
where I can talk to somebody and have a full conversation and not feel nervous about talking.
And that's I've mentioned this previously in other interviews. Is that I mean it's a pretty common thing to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Really, you know. I mean, for me personally, it's helped me become, like you said, more sociable,
Mm-hmm.
and really know. Because I'm one of those guys. I don't know about you, but I listen back on my videos and my streams, and
Mm-hmm.
I try to learn from what I've said, how my voice got high or low, and how I reacted to people in chat, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of tweak that a little bit, you know.
Yep.
So it definitely does help you,
Yep.
and it's really cool to hear that it's had a positive impact on your life, which has been a trend in these interviews. I have yet to hear really anything negative, um, so that's really cool. Um, Going back to real life, who is the funniest person in your circle?
Funniest person in my circle.
And I know this may be a bit of a dangerous question because you're married, but answer honestly.
I have a buddy. His nickname is Repo. He's a writing buddy, drinking buddy. Just all around really cool guy. And he'll come over. I could be having one of the shittiest day, um, which she'll make me laugh, and then he'll show up and he'll just do the little Johnny jokes, and it's like instant. Everybody's having a good time again.
That's awesome. Is that his actual name, Repo?
Uh, that's his nickname.
Oh, okay.
His real name is Brian, but we call him Repo because of what he's done in his past for jobs.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, okay, because that would actually be kind of cool if that was his real name. So, um, that's cool. It's like I was doing an interview yesterday with Frost, and he's got a real life friend named Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, that name is so rare. And then of course, you're telling me Repo, and I'm like, oh, another rare name.
Yep.
It would have been a weird little thing. Well, that's cool. You're obviously a truck driver. You're long haul.
Yep.
How long have you been doing that?
Legally 9.5 years. I outlawed for quite a few years.
Okay.
And outlawing means you don't have a CDL, you dodge all the scales, and you just stay out of the sight of the cops. But out in western Kansas, where I'm born and raised,
Yeah.
I drove grain truck for the longest time. And of course, my dad drove growing up. So me and my brothers and sister, we all got behind the wheel going down a major interstate. I actually learned how to drive in the mountains of near Kingman, Arizona, between Kingman and Flagstaff,
Whoa.
at the age of 14 while he took a nap.
Holy cow.
Yep. It
That's
was quite
crazy.
exciting and scary.
That's crazy.
But all in all, I've got 20 years behind the wheel.
Well, I mean, you're still here with us, so
Yep.
that's saying
I'm
something.
doing something right.
Yeah. Exactly. Um, is there, because I mean there are, when you hang out with like different crews like the original Outlaws, the Outcast Posse,
Mm-hmm.
and other people,
Mm-hmm.
obviously ATS is a big deal.
Yep.
Um, it's a truck sim. For those that don't know, you're literally behind the wheel in a truck, in a long haul truck, and there are different states you drive through. The time span of the drive is about equal. They just scaled it down time wise. How long
Yeah.
it takes. You have to regard stop signs, otherwise you lose money. You have to regard stoplights, otherwise you lose money. Speed limits, so on and so forth. Um, like you said, you've done some consulting work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is streaming and is games like that in trucker circles, is that fairly popular, or is that just kind of like one-off stuff?
Actually, it is fairly popular with a lot of the drivers that I talk to. I've got a lot of friends that drive over the road that actually know the game. They watch me, they watch certain other streamers and other recorder content creators that they play American Truck Simulator. I've got a couple of buddies that drive for Fry Miller that they play the game. They're not as diehard as I am,
Right.
but they play, just to pass the time because they're in a governed truck. They don't go to a certain location quite a bit. So they're like, you know, I can get out of the norm. I can drive as fast as I want to. I don't have to worry about, certain things. And I get to go to places that I don't get to see on a regular basis because in real life, some of the roads that are in the game are restricted to shorter trucks.
Right.
So we can't go down them with our 53-foot trailers or our weight, because we weigh almost 80,000 pounds.
Right.
And in the game, you can take some heavy haul loads down through the farthest west point of Yellowstone, uh, up around Truckee, California, which is Donner Pass. There's a route you can't take a semi down, but they have it in game, and you can take extra heavy, extra long loads down it and enjoy the scenery. And it's actually very beautiful. They've done a really good job on making the scenery to
Yeah.
where it looks like today.
Yeah, and that's what I've read, at least on my part, in the Steam comments about how realistic it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they obviously take some liberties too with when it comes to simulating it. They don't go too um, what's the word I want to use, too specific, especially like on
Extreme.
road limits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's really cool to hear. Because usually with sim games, it's still a game. They still want you to have fun.
Right.
But there are some that's just like, no, if you can't do it in real life, you can't do it at all. Kind
Yeah.
of thing. So that's really awesome. Is there, on the same kind of um, question? Are there truckers that look down on it?
Yes, there is some truckers that they do look down on it because, well, it's just a sin game. People are going to get the wrong aspect.
Right.
This, and I'll go to bats for the game. I'm like, yes, there's going to be people that will take, okay, what happens in this game is what happens in real life. No, I'll back that up.
Right.
But the people that look down on the game that are drivers and important, uh, they'll, well, that's a sim game. People shouldn't be playing games like that because it's going to get the wrong mindset. Da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. That's how you think.
Right.
I play the game. This is my concept on it. That's your opinion, and I
Right.
just let it go. And I'm still friends with these people.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yep.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, when it comes to game, especially same could be said for shooter games. Especially like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like Call of Duty and stuff. There are I've read about soldiers that look down on that because it's not like real life. Although that might be on a different level because of the violence and guns. But
Right.
there's always going to be something like that when it comes to like games that mock real life or
Right.
you know kind of have that influence on it. So
Yeah.
um,
There's people that look down on GTA 5 because there's some real life stuff that's in that game that shouldn't really be, played, but we played anyways because we enjoy the content in that game.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've even read a couple of stories. I think it was up on Kotaku at one time a few years back about how there are some ex-criminals that have gone on record to say how they loathe GTA 5 because it seems to take liberties with how crimes are actually done. Because it's one of those games to where it literally they try to break down, how you're gonna get guys together, get into a bank, distract people, put out cameras and stuff like that. So,
Yo.
and GTA is just one example of that. There are other games that do the same thing. So
Oh yeah.
there's always going to be that side to it.
Oh yeah.
So if there was a okay on the part of going back to streaming and YouTubing and all that, if you had a magic wand,
Mm-hmm.
is there a streamer or YouTuber, big or small, that you haven't been able to, but you would love to collab with someday?
That I would love to collab with, but haven't. Huh. Really, everybody that I watch, I've done some sort of collaboration with, and there's not really very many that I don't watch. I've popped into a couple of really, they're, I take that back. Jeff Favignano. He's big YouTube.
Hmm.
Uh, he's big into sim games. The role playing game of GTA 5, 5M, and that. I would like to do some collabs with him.
Jeff Fabiano.
Um,
Okay.
Jeff Fabiano, and then there's actually another one. If I could wave that one more time, and that's Fire Kitten, and she's from Dublin, Ireland, I believe.
I got to tell you, man, Ireland, they have some great content creators.
Yes,
They really do.
yes, they
Um,
do.
a buddy of mine, Pal Name's from Ireland, and I'm hoping to interview him soon. And that's where collabing it can be a bit of a challenge with people on the other side of the planet, nearly. You know,
Correct.
so that's awesome, man. Um, what is and I'm gonna apply this to both as a question for your streaming, for recording, and maybe even for when you're about to leave long haul on a job. What's the last thing you do before any of that happens?
What is the last thing that I do before any of that happens? Usually it's a conversation with Witch and the kids.
Do you have any kind of like good luck ritual, or do you knock on anything, or
No, actually, it's not really knocking on anything. It's uh, count the items in my hand, make sure that I have my keys and my coffee cup and my wallet.
okay, all right, fair enough.
And the phone, it's always secondary, but I make sure that I have keys, phone, or keys, wallet, and coffee cup.
Gotcha.
And then, get in the truck or get ready to do whatever I'm doing. As long as I have those three, the phone is going to be there.
Okay. Talking, because for those that don't know, I've been married, or I was married.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're married, there are certain things that are commonplace. And you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned a coffee cup. Is this a coffee cup that Witch has got for you, or is this one that you've had for a long time?
Actually, this is one that I created the design on for my Streamlabs store,
Oh, cool.
for my fan club,
Okay.
and originally bought the cup for her,
Okay.
and it's my favorite coffee cup. It's the only coffee cup that I use in the house, and then I have my travel mug, which is I got it for free from Love's Truck Stop Travel Stores. In fact, I got it free in Texas. There's no wording left on it. It is just this ugly dented yellow cup, but I have to have it.
Yeah.
It keeps my coffee warm for 3 hours, 4 hours, and if I decide I want to get a cold drink, which I never use that one for cold drinks, but if I were to use it for a cold drink, it would keep it cold for up to 7 hours.
So
But
it's a bit of a good luck charm then.
yep, it is always on the truck with me. When we go out, we're doing anything, I 9 times out of 10 have that coffee cup with me.
That's awesome. Cool. Um, okay, so we'll kind of close out here with a family question.
Okay.
Um, because being a streamer as an adult, sometimes things get a little, shall we say, PG-13, R-rated. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Do you let your kids watch your content?
Yes, I do.
You do.
Yep. I let my kids watch my content. My son that lives here, his his gaming handle on YouTube and stuff like that is Big D Gaming.
Right.
He's actually been in a collaboration a couple of times in Farm Sim and I believe 5M. He got in one of the early streams with Phoenix. He was actually able to get in game and play with us.
How was that for him? I'm guessing he enjoyed it.
He enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He actually enjoyed what was going on. He actually made his own collaboration of we had to go catch the bad guy, and he was the bad guy, and he made it more interesting than what I could have done because he thinks on his feet when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Right.
And he's a big console player. He doesn't play a lot on PC, but when he does, he plays like the Farm Sim, the 5M, the American Truck Simulator. But he's more of a console, PS4, and Xbox.
Okay.
So, and he's actually streamed a couple of times over on Twitch, Apex and Modern Warfare, and I think he streams some of his one of his newer games.
Okay. Big. So what was it? Big. I think I've actually followed him. Big D Gaming, right?
Big D Gaming.
Okay. I'll try to find a link for that, and I'll put it down at the bottom of the video if you guys are interested. What I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with one last question. I was gonna go and close it out, but it just occurred to me. Obviously there's you and Witch, your kids. You obviously have family pets as well.
Oh yeah, 6 cats that are on her and crap.
Yeah. It has happened from time to time in my streams that Witch has pointed out, and you guys have posted pictures.
Yes.
What is it that it seems to be that some of your cats are so interested in streamers?
But the one specific that we're talking about is Fuzzy. It's our black and white, very fuzzy, very furry cat.
Okay.
We were living in Oklahoma City when we first noticed this and first took the picture. She sat at the computer desk. You were streaming. I don't remember. Ow! I just got stepped on by a cat, by the way.
Relevant.
She sat there and watched you stream. She did not leave that spot the whole stream. I think it was Injustice. You were playing Injustice 2. And I think it's because of the movement in the game. In fact, she's up on the desk, and it's your face, your voice. Your voice. You are a soothing voice to this cat because she has fallen asleep to your stream, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And her just sitting there, and then last weekend during your stream when we posted that other picture, the minute she heard your voice on Witch's computer, because I wear headphones all the time because I have loud content and it's easier to concentrate, and I don't have really good speakers. She heard your voice, boom, she was there, and she did not leave until you were done streaming. In fact, the stream is done thing came up and you were still talking in the background, and she did not leave until it blanked out. That's
funny on multiple levels, because for those that don't know, when I do the Injustice streams, I'm a big fan of Catwoman. Catwoman is my main, so that's a bit of a weird relevancy.
Right.
And
here she is. She sits there and just watches you the whole time you're doing Injustice 2.
Cats all around, man. Cats all around.
Yep.
That's really cool, and it's something to be said about animals and humanity, how we link with each other. And I'm cool with people, even animals, falling asleep to my streams, because I am a bit of an ASMR guy, and while I cannot pull that off sometimes, I watch ASMR videos myself. And if you guys don't know what ASMR is essentially a comforting feeling you get from certain voices, certain sounds, and that's essentially what it is. So.
Yep, very soothing.
Exactly. It has helped me. It has helped me get to sleep more times than I can count.
Right.
So.
Hellblade? You play Hellblade?
Yes,
Holy crap.
your other game, Hellblade. She is intently watching that one.
She will block my screen.
If you, as you can hear, Witch talking in the background.
Yeah. Hellblade, really?
Yep. She is on Witch's screen, just glued.
Wow. Okay. I guess that makes sense. I mean, for those that don't know Hellblade, there's a bit of an audio feature on it to where the voices in Senua's head is constantly talking, and it's coming from different points in the audio.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, a big shout out to Witch for the involvement. That's awesome. But with that, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and close it out. We're at 35 minutes now, but it's been really, really awesome interviewing you.
It's been fun.
Yeah. And it's always obviously good to catch up with you guys.
Yes, it is. It's always good to interact with you and talk to you. In fact, I miss our conversations we used to have all the time, but with my schedule, your schedule, it just doesn't coincide sometimes.
That's real life too. I mean, I guess that's being an adult sometimes.
Right.
It's crazy. I seriously wish I had a lot more time. I mean, especially like only going off in real life details when you go from like a 2-person income to a 1-person income.
Mm-hmm.
After a divorce, just being totally real here, not to be a downer at all for anybody, but life gets a little bit more challenging and your time is sucked up a whole lot more. So, but that's just how it is. But with that said, I am, personally, on a personal note, man, I am really proud proud of you and Witch and your family. You
Thank you.
guys have been through hell sometimes, but y'all always seem to make it through.
Yep.
And I could not ask for better friends over the years. So, and again, I really appreciate your involvement in this project as well.
You're welcome.
Is there anything extra you want to add before we close out?
I think I'm good. Other than you're awesomer, more awesome than I am.
I think we're equally awesome. I'll disagree, but
All right.
anyway, with that, you guys, like I said, this has been Bulldog, which has kind of popped up in the background, which is really cool. I'm actually hoping to interview her soon. I'm gonna hit her up and get some details from her and see if she wants to do that, because she's done some content as well. So hopefully we can look forward to that. But with that, Bulldog's stream info and channel info will be down below. Thanks for hanging out. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise, and I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace. And it just got awkward because Streamlabs closed out. There we go. See ya.